just finished 4 appointments. So you're feeling motivated, Ruth? Yeah, something like that. Yeah. Okay, good. So here's where we are right now. As we look at the calendar, we are sitting at March 20th. And for the real estate world, which I know that the majority of this call is being attended by, we are basically in April. So we're through the first quarter. Now, through the first quarter, you should actually pause for a second and reflect, right? How many people, just with a show of hands, actually go back in their quarters and reflect? Got it. Yeah, we've got one. We've got two. I know Dana's shaking her head. Yes. Reflection is a good exercise over a period of time that because we're in the real estate world or in the coaching world or whatever it may be, you're probably running 1,000,000 miles an hour. Can I get an amen? Yes. My wife even put on there that she's busy. She runs 1,000,000 miles an hour, and I know you all do the same. Now, what is 1,000,000 miles an hour, though? That is a word called what? Hustling. You're hustling. You're actively out there doing things that can be challenging, right? You're actively out there doing things that maybe are hard, or I like to call effort based. Sometimes when we get in those spaces, what do we feel? Stuck. Sometimes when we get in those spaces, our income can flatline, right? Because it's the same soup reheated every single day. Maybe sometimes your skills and your growth stop growing. And we got to be aware of that. And then one night, you may be sitting there at your kitchen table with the computer in front of you, and you may use this word, I'm burned out. Has anybody ever used that word, I'm burned out? Anybody? Anybody? Yeah, I'm sure you have. Burnout is a scary word. Burnout can be that feeling that we don't know what it really means, but sometimes maybe we need a break. Okay. Now, I'm going to teach you a model today that is going to expose your burnout barrier, and I'm going to show you how and why you probably got there. Because the burnout barrier, if we don't expose it, can shut us down. Has anybody ever been shut down by burnout? I know the answer is yes. So I want you to write this phrase down. An effort-fueled business will fade. An effort-fueled business will fade. An energy-fueled business will flourish. So an effort-fueled business will fade, and an energy-fueled business will flourish. So I'm going to share with you a model here that I've been working on, that I've been coaching to coaches inside of the I Love Coaching community. And it's really important that we pay attention to where we are on this graph. Let me pull this up here. Ruth knows this. I love to draw on my iPad, and you are about to see that in action. So here we go. Let me grab my iPad here. Let's go to advance. And by the way, if you ever have any questions or comments, just throw them in the chat and we'll look at them. All right, here we go. And sharing away my screen. 3, 2, 1. Show. There we go. Voila. Okay, so this is what I'm calling the burnout barrier extinguisher. This is a model. Okay, this is a model. And I want you to see this model for what it's worth and watch yourself and where do you land on this model. Because I'm going to show you how to recognize the burnout barrier and then how to get past the burnout barrier. Because again, we're finishing the first quarter. As you look to go into the second quarter, since this is a real estate-based group, this is where usually business picks up, right? The spring market is where business will start to pick up. Why? I don't know. Seasonality. Though you got to pay attention to this. So let's start in the very beginning. Type in the chat, how long have you been in real estate? Type in the chat how long you've been in real estate, please. How long have you been in real estate? 6 years, 9 years, 1 year, perfect. So we have good time frames here. So in the burnout barrier extinguisher model, we're going to talk 7 years. Nice. When you all started your real estate career, you can see on one side we have joy, and at the bottom axis we have money. When you started your real estate career, you were up here. Now, what is up here? This is hopeful. You were hopeful that your real estate business was going to be successful. Hopeful. Why hopeful? Well, I don't know, because you were excited. You had a lot of joy around the idea. Maybe some of you watch HGTV and you saw like the Selling LAs or the Selling Manhattan. You got excited about the income opportunity, whatever it was, though you were filled with joy. Or maybe you had someone recruit you into the real estate world because you saw that they were making high commission dollars, whatever. You were hopeful and you had joy. Now, look what you don't have, though. So we're on this side, we're going to have an increase of money. On the bottom side, we're going to have no money. On the joy side, we're going to have a plus part up here, the joy. At the bottom side will be no joy. So in the beginning, you are very hopeful. I take that back. Let's change that word hopeful to hobby. That is a hobby. In the beginning, when you're not making any money, you have a hobby. Now, let's see what comes next. What comes next is now you're making money and now you are hopeful. Hopeful that what? You're hopeful that it will continue. Is anybody or has anybody felt that before? Oh my gosh, I just had a closing. I don't have any more on the books, but I sure am hopeful that I get another one. Or in the coaching world, oh my gosh, I just landed a client. I hope I get another one, but I sure am still having fun. So let's check this out. On our model, when we're starting it, our hope is and our joy is high, but our money is low. As we start to get some business going, check out what happens. Our joy actually decreases, but our money starts to increase. Why is that? Well, because we get more responsibilities, right? We get more responsibilities. We start to get a little more into the weeds, and we start to really understand that, well, you don't have a business yet. You're just a salesperson. You're a salesperson because without you, your business or your money won't come in. And that's okay, but you're going to figure this out. Now watch what happens next, though. So you go from a hobby to hopeful to what? Watch how this comes down here. We go from hopeful, okay, we're going to make this red. Let me show you what this red line is right here. This is your burnout barrier. This red line right here is your burnout barrier. Now we go from a hobby to hopeful. And oh, look at this. We're actually making more money, though our joy has gone down. And what are you in then? You are in a handcuffed-based business. Write that down. Handcuffed-based business. Handcuffed. Why are you handcuffed? Well, that's easy. You're handcuffed because now you're making money and you can't stop making money. You need to keep making money, but your joy is diminishing. Why is your joy diminishing? Well, because you're doing tasks that you don't want to do. You're around people maybe that you don't want to be around, or you're stepping into an environments that aren't conducive for bringing you energy. We're going to talk about that in a second. So let's look at this side of the barrier here, and we're going to call this side effort. Okay. This side is an effort-based business or an effort-fueled business. Remember, I've highlighted this at the top. Effort-fueled businesses, what? Fade. You can see here from the model, You are fading in what? In joy. You're fading in joy. It happens to all of us, whether it's real estate, whether it's coaching, whether it's sports, whether it's relationships. It happens. Okay. It happens. Now, what do we need to do? Now, I'm not saying here in the effort-based space that you don't need to put effort in when you're starting your business. You don't need to put effort in when you're scaling your business or maybe even exiting your business. You're going to have to put effort in. But how do we take that and now build a business that is high money and high joy? How do we get this over here to what I'm going to call in green, healthy? How do we get it to be a healthy business that is filled with joy? Let's come over here. Let's look at our joy line. And it is filled with making money. How do we do that? And what are the action steps that we need to take? Well, before we do that, I want you to type in the chat, what are you hearing so far? What are you liking that you have heard so far that is resonating with you? Put it in the chat, what you heard. What are you liking? What are you liking? While you're typing, I'm going to write this right here for you. We got an effort-based business, and now we're going to have an energy-based business. Okay, let's see what we got. I love the handcuff concept because I can see, because what can see that? It's also sometimes not money, but routine that makes us feel handcuffed. Absolutely, Gabriel. You're so true. Carrie, that there is hope after burnout. There definitely is hope after burnout. And we're going to talk about that right now. How do we get to a business? The part about coming close to the barrier and the who's you do business with. Absolutely, Ruth. That's good. So let's look at this. So we define an effort-based business. Let's highlight this. Green. An effort-based business compared to an energy-based business. Well, how do we do that? We have to do what's called the energy audit. So what I want you to do on a sheet of paper somewhere is I want you to build out your own energy audit. On one side, you're going to have what gives you energy. On the opposite side, you're going to have what takes your energy. And there's going to be 3 categories that we're going to break down what gives and what takes your energy. I've already shared these before, but now we're going to organize them. The first one is I want you to define tasks. Okay? Tasks. So what tasks give you energy and what tasks take your energy? So go ahead here for the next 30 seconds or so. Write down specifically for your world, whether again that's in the real estate world, whether that's in an administrative world, whether that's with a market center, whether that's in entrepreneurship, the tasks that you are doing right now, which ones of them give you energy and which ones of them take your energy? Just take a second there and write it down. And we're only looking at tasks right now. Don't have a clock here. I know it hasn't been 30 seconds, but keep writing. What gives and what takes. The first things that come to mind. Don't overthink this. Just put it down. All right, let's transition now because we're going to go from tasks to people. Same concept here. In your world right now, who are the people that you are around the most that give you energy? And who are the people that you are around the most right now that take your energy? Be honest here. Be honest. Because what we're doing is we're doing an energy audit. If you're going to build an energy-based business and stay away from the burnout barrier, you've got to create clarity in this space. So who are the people, take a second here, write them down, that give you energy, and who are the people that take your energy? Energy vampires. Just jot down whoever is coming to mind. And if they're sitting next to you, don't write their name down if they take your energy. All right. Now, the last one we're going to go to is from people and tasks to environment. I want you to audit your environment. What about your environment right now gives you energy? And what about your environment takes your energy? That can be the physical space. That can be the people in that space. That can be all the things in that space that are not bringing you energy or that are taking your energy. Just brainstorm, write them down. If you work from home, maybe you work from home. What takes your energy? That pile of laundry over there, right? Maybe if you work in an office, what takes your energy? That person next to me that keeps their music on all the time, whatever, right? Just anything that you can think of that gives and takes energy. Because the whole idea with this energy audit is that you get really now intentional with what to do next. Okay, with a show of thumbs up, are we finished with the energy audit? I know we went through that fast, but show me a thumbs up if you're finished with the audit. All right, perfect. Type in the chat real quick. What did you need to hear right there about the energy audit? Or you know what? I think we only have, we have 9 people on here. Just go ahead and unmute yourself and share out loud. What did you need to hear there, and or what type of actions do you feel you need to take with this? Because I'm going to tell you what to do after this. But what did you like here with the energy audit? You can type in the chat or you can say it out loud. Anybody?
I think it's a really good practical way to just look at it on paper.
Mm-hmm. That's good. Ruth, curious, with yours, did you have more gives or more takes on either in any three or one of them?
I actually had a little more gifts.
Good, excellent. That's good. We've got the people and tasks were easier than the identity, identifying that the environment. Not sure why. Interesting, Gabriel. That's good. I have a lot more takes than gives. Interesting. All right, now what we're gonna do is we're gonna take this. All right, so let's pause for a second. What are we doing? We are working in this burnout barrier, this extinguisher, right? Where we're gonna get rid of that burnout feeling. And the way that we do that is we have to build an energy-based business. An energy-based business. We know there's gonna be effort, but we have to build an energy-based business. Now, what we've done so far is we've looked at our tasks, we've looked at the people, and we've looked at the environment that gives and takes away our energy. But here's the big question that I always get whenever I teach this model. Adam, what do I do with that? What do I do with the side that takes away my energy? This is what we do. We come here. So this guy right on this side, Dan Martell, has been my coach now for 2 years. And this is from his book now, Buy Back Your Time. So I want you to see this line right here. We call this a pain line. For our conversation here, we can also call this the burnout line. This arrow going up and to the right is your business. That's your business. It's going up and to the right. you are going to consistently come up against pain lines. You're going to consistently come up against burnout lines. It happens. Now, I hope it doesn't happen as frequently as daily, though if it does start to happen, and as we audit in the quarter, we need to know how to get out of that. Well, we started by doing the energy audit, but Adam, we have now found a lot of what takes my energy. What do I do with it? Well, let's look at this. In the buyback model or the buyback principle, buy back your time, your business goes up and to the right. But here's what that really looks like if we zoom out. This is your business. It's going this way. And then, oops, we do an energy audit, and then it comes back and goes that way. Now, your pain line, if we were to zoom out, is right here. Okay, this is, let's put a little closer to this. Your pain line is right here. That's that. Now, how do you know when you are at this pain line or this burnout line? I'm going to share with you right now. And you guys are all going to agree with me that you do one or all three of these. The first thing you will recognize in yourself when you get to a pain line or a burnout line is you will do this. You will stall. You will stall in something that you need to move forward with. You're going to stall. And a stall is simply that. I'll do it tomorrow. Or you kind of kick the can down the road. When you start to see yourself doing that, you know you're either getting close to a burnout line, pain line, or you're on one right now. Has anybody ever stalled before with a show of hands? Anybody stalled before? I'm pretty sure I stalled today, right? Okay, so pay attention to that. Here's the second one. You'll start to sabotage yourself. You'll start to sabotage yourself. Sabotaging yourself is maybe not communicating the best way you should be. Sabotaging yourself is saying, you know what? That's your job, but I'll do it. Sabotaging yourself is setting yourself up for failure, knowing that you shouldn't probably be doing something that somebody else should be doing. Sabotaging yourself can also be language. Sabotaging yourself can be bad language. I'm just not good at that. Or, yeah, that's not that important to me. Or fill in the blank. However you sabotage yourself. And then the third thing, and in no particular order, to recognize that you are at a pain line or a burnout line is, I call it sell. You'll sell, which means you just won't do it. Or you'll just punt it, right? Or you'll quit. Selling means you're just not going to do it. And whatever that void is that needs to be taken care of, the heck with it. I'm just not going to do it. I'm not going to fire the person on my team that needs to be fired. I'm not going to make the calls that I know I should make to the people that I need to follow up with. I'll do it later, right? All three of these kind of live together, but these are great ways, more both in physical and mentally emotional, that you are doing when you get to your burnout line. In the chat right now, which one do you think you do the most of when it comes to getting close to that burnout line? Stall, sabotage, or sell? Would you say sell is the absolute most dire state? Yeah. Sell is when it's just like, screw it, I'm not going to do it. Right? Stall and sabotage. Love it. Nice. Okay, cool. That's me right now. Good. Sabotage. Self-sabotage to a degree. Based on the sell definition, I would say sell. Good. Okay, great. All right, so now let's come back here to this buy back your time. So as we look at this model down here, when we look at our pain line, the pain line is this red line. So what we're doing is we're zooming out of your business. This is your business. Your business, you want it to go up and to the right. What happens is we start to see ourselves stalling, sabotaging, or selling. We see ourselves in this space of really having an effort-based business, and we're getting really close to that burnout barrier. Okay, so step number one, here we go. Step number one right here is do exactly what you just did. Audit your tasks, your people, and your environment. Okay. You have to audit those. And that's what we just described. So that's step number one. Step number two is you have to transfer. You have to transfer all, it's in red, all energy vampires or suckers. Okay. You have to transfer that. Let's come back here. So you have to transfer these. Well, how do I transfer something, Adam, of tasks, people, and environment? I think the simplest way to do that, and you guys have heard this many, many, many times, but I want to help you break this down, is you transfer this by a system. A system. So what is the acronym of a system? What does that truly mean to have a system to transfer tasks? Well, first of all, the acronym of system is saves yourself time, energy, and money. Okay. Save yourself time, energy, and money. So as we look at all these takes energy, our goal is to transfer them in a systematic way off of your plate. Transfer them in a way that you will no longer stall. Transfer them in a way that you will no longer sabotage. Transfer them in a way that you will no longer sell. I want to give you a quick example here before I go into the last part. So I do a podcast called the I Love Coaching Podcast. And here recently, I'd say the last maybe 5, 6 episodes or so, Jess Weber, who is the integrator of I Love Coaching, who is incredibly talented and smart in the tactical approach to business, she has been a co-host. And a lot of our topics have been very tactic-oriented, very tactical-oriented. And I found myself not getting energy from them anymore. I was like, uh-oh, that's not good. What's causing me to start to stall and cancel podcasts? I love podcasts. So I had to go through my energy audit. And was it the task of doing the podcast? No. Was it the environment? Nope. I think we have a pretty good environment. Was it the people? And I thought, uh-oh, is it Jess? Am I really getting to the point where I don't like to do podcasts with her? And I thought to myself, no, that's not it. It's the actual podcast content that I didn't like doing that was taking my energy because I'm not a tactical person. I'm a very macro-oriented person in macro language, and Jess is a very micro-oriented person who has helped really build our blueprint, which is a step-by-step process on how to build a coaching business. And so I thought, oh, there it is. So therefore, I transferred from that role of doing podcasts, podcasts. I transferred the thought of I'm no longer doing the tactical ones, you will. I will do more of the interviews and macro approach to having guests, which bring energy to me that I get to lean into and ask a bunch of questions. So when I shared that with her in a communication system, she was like, wow, that's a great idea. And so now I got to fill my time, which is the last part here. So this is step 1. This is step 2. This is step 3. And step 3 is fill your time. Okay. Fill your time. Now, this is where I see people make a mistake. Once we have audited your world, once we have transferred, now we get to fill the time back up again. And where I've seen people make mistakes is they start to fill their time with going to play golf. They start to fill their time with going on more vacations. They start to fill their time with things that are not, in the business world, giving you more energy and revenue. they fill it with the wrong things. So what do we need to fill it with? Simple. One of these three things. When you buy back your time because you have exposed your energy on it, the first thing you need to look at is improving your skills. That's one. Step number one, when you have time, because you've bought it back, because you've transferred what took your energy, you need to go into a space that improves your skills. Secondly, is grows or establishes a new behavior. A new behavior. What's a new behavior? A new behavior could be the point of I'm going to now step into reaching out to more coaches that I could bring onto the I Love Coaching podcast. That's a new behavior. A new behavior is as I prepare for those, because that brings me energy, I'm going to work out questions ahead of time. A new behavior is I'm paying attention to where I'm stalling or sabotaging or selling something. And then the last thing is new habits. That's what you need to fill your time with. Fill your time with new skills, fill your time with new behaviors, and fill your time with new habits. And once you do these three things, you will continue to go up and to the right with your business. And what's really fun with all of this is you get to see it all, right? You get to see it, but you gotta pause. You gotta slow down long enough. And that's why we started this conversation with really reflecting on your first quarter. It's a very in-depth approach. Okay, so there it is. There's how the burnout barrier extinguisher works, is understand where your effort and your energy live, understand where you live on that, and knowing that effort-fueled businesses fade, energy-fueled businesses flourish. Do your energy audit, pay attention to what gives and takes your energy in those three categories. Once you have an idea of what takes your energy, go through your buyback time, audit, transfer those, and then fill your time with those three new things. What did we learn? What did you hear? What was it that stood out to you that was like, all right, I'm going to go implement. Let's unmute yourself and let's have a conversation and mastermind around this. And then we can do Q&A and talk about whatever it is your heart desires.
Everyone's quiet today.
They are. They're probably waiting for the cats to come on. Do they play today? I think they play today.
Yeah, I think. Or is it tomorrow? I don't know. Dylan will know. I don't think it's today.
They play tomorrow night at 7:10.
There you go.
Tomorrow
From
night.
our local cat expert.
He's probably on his way to the game.
I'm about to walk into their practice.
Love it.
All right, here's what Hannah said. Hannah said that the thing that stuck out the most was to transfer what takes my energy to what gives me energy. Absolutely, Hannah. All day long. Though you won't know what that is unless you step into that space and do the energy audit. Thank you for sharing that. Who else?
The big thing I've learned, I got on late, but I was looking at that model. I've seen you do that before, and it's the big thing I've learned. I've even talking about transferring that energy is the thing that causes me burnout is when I get away from leveraging my weaknesses. And like focusing on my strengths and like getting those weaknesses, like me and Adam talk all the time. He fusses at me all the time. Like, I hate spreadsheets. I hate that kind of stuff. That's not my thing. Like, get me in front of people. Let me add value to people in that way. And if there's something that needs to go on a spreadsheet for me, it is like pulling teeth. And I got to do the things that feed me energy. And that's what some people love. But like, I have people in the office that I have to get that stuff to, or it's one, it's not going to get done at the highest level. And two, it's going to take me away from the things that help me go to the next level.
Yep.
I keep trying to leverage Dylan for recruiting.
You should, because he's good at that. That is definitely an energy space for him, connecting with people.
No, Dylan, you are here so leveraged.
Let's do it. I'll meet, talk with whoever. You know, that's my thing.
And Jenny, you know, it's funny, we're laughing about that, though it's a factual thing, right? If we look at your growth opportunity, Jenny, where you are in your business, if the recruiting component doesn't give you energy, right? Though you know it's something that has to be done. And I may know from experience with you that you may or may not sabotage yourself in that space, or you may or may not stall in that space. Yeah, let's
I think
transfer
it's
that.
stall, sabotage, sell, do it all. I mean, I got the S's locked down on that recruiting.
S cubed, right? Yes, transfer something like that to Dylan, who has high energy in that space that actually fills him up to go meet with people. Now, we can't always rely on something like that, considering that that's a position for the entire office. Though, Jenny, that's not to say that transferring that could be that you hire a growth director, right? Transferring that energy could be that you find someone, a Dylan of the world for your team that goes out and recruits or goes out and finds talent.
And in the meantime, yes, just send them my way.
Mm-hmm.
Win-win.
That's right.
But like all jokes aside, like you're sitting here thinking about like how much you hate that stuff, and I'm like, we had a snow day once, and by like noon, I told Lauren, I was like, I got to get out of this house. It had been like 3 hours, and I was like, I have to go see other humans. Like I can't do this. On the second day, I was like, it was like noon on the second day of like a heavy snow, and I was like, all right, I'm shoveling the driveway. I got to go see other humans. I can't do this. And
Yeah.
like so, like you just got to figure out, you know, that we just got to but yeah, use that leverage right there. I would love it.
Yeah, that's good. That's really, really good. Who else? What else?
Hey, Adam, this is
Hey, Carrie.
Carrie. Hey, so what I kind of realized, I've been in business for 9 years, and what I kind of realized is that looking back in the beginning of my business, when I had a lot of joy and a lot of energy, it's because I was in these groups, I was in these lead generation groups. I was going to lots of things. So my lead generation was basically in person.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how I made all of my connections. And so that gave me energy. And I dread like making phone calls to people.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just not how I loved lead generating. So I learned that maybe I need to go back to what I was doing in the beginning
Mm-hmm.
and do that. And maybe put in some of this, improve your skills, um, redo that behavior that I was doing, and maybe that'll help me.
Carrie, let me ask you, what took you away from the original approach?
I think I just got so busy in my business.
Mhm.
I did almost 40 units
Mhm.
in 1 year, and I just had a part-time administrative assistant, and I was just working 7 days a week and, you know, never
Yeah.
saw my family. And I needed a buyer's agent. I didn't have anybody to tell me that I needed a buyer's agent,
Well,
you
can
know?
you see yourself on that model then, right? Because you started off in the hobby joyful, and then you got handcuffed in the business, but your
Yes,
joy started to go down. You got close to this burnout barrier, and then it came hard to lead generate, right? Because you
Yep.
thought, well, maybe I need to lead generate a different way. When that's not true, you could go
exactly.
back and you could see where that lead generation approach that you did originally brought you energy.
Mhm,
And then we've got to see that's building that healthy part of the business is going to see that.
mhm. That's
And
exactly what happened.
I love that. When I was a team leader in our market center here in Charleston, I was that crazy guy that loved to make calls. And it brought me energy to sit there and pound the phones for hours because it was a game to me. I had this thing on my mirror that I would dial in front of is who's going to be the lucky one that gets to take my call today. And I would have that there, and I was in an office that was kind of a glass, called the fish tank, because it was all glass. It was actually a conference room that I moved myself in there so people could see that I would sit there and lead generate all day. And then I realized that I needed to take that and put that more into the environment. So I went into the training room and I started lead generating there in the training room. Now we had lower desks, so I'd take a chair and I'd put it on top of the desk and I'd put my laptop right there and I'd make my calls and do all my stuff. And the next thing I know, because of that energy, we would get 2 people in the room. Then we would get 5 people in the room. Then we would get 10 people in the room. And then we started making a game out of it. And then we started saying you had to pay $20 to come into the room because whoever got the most no's in the room would get the pot. And when I became OP and then sold, that energy died
Mm,
and production went down. Production went way down. And it's
mm,
fascinating to pay attention to simple little things like that bring
mhm.
you energy that, I mean, I've got a guy to this day, the heck, that was 6 years ago. And he still talks about how that was some of his best lead generation time because the environment was conducive for his energy.
Wow,
Now,
that's fascinating.
it is fascinating. It really is. Who else? What else? Thanks, Gary. Anything else there?
I think going back to the energy sucking thing, I actually have it saved on my phone right now. It says, decide what kind of life you want, then say no to everything that isn't it.
Mm.
Um, I would say one of my biggest energy sucks, and I'm trying to figure out how to get it off my calendar even more, is people calling and picking my brain
Mm.
and asking me a million questions and like free mentorship. And it just is such a time suck.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not trying to push people away because I know they're in pain.
Mm-hmm.
But I would say that is probably like one of the hardest things that it's a huge energy suck. I'll tell you, when I get off the phone, a lot of times I'm super drained. A lot of conversations start with, I'm talking to you because I can trust you. And then it's like, so, so yeah,
Yep.
that, and I haven't quite figured that one out. So, and I'm looking at like stall, self-sabotage, sell, like punt it, I'm like, in a lot of cases, it's not like, because I do coaching and consulting too. Adam was my coach for a while, guys. He's amazing.
Woohoo.
But yeah, it's not like one that I've been able to flip into a consulting or coaching client. But it is a huge time suck at the same time. And I
Mhm.
don't always know where that's going. So
Curious, Ruth, are
yeah.
those, well, first of all, do you want me to fix this or feel it?
Fix it. Yeah.
Okay, perfect.
Fix
Are
it.
these people that are reaching out to you, are they clients or are they, who are they specifically?
A lot of leadership, market center leadership.
Okay, perfect. Now, are you an absorber or a deflector?
I absorb.
You absorb, okay. And that can be really heavy, right? When you're an absorber of other people's energies or other people's problems, that can put you in the funny farm real quick. So you've got to be careful with that. A solution that I would potentially or even suggest, because I know you love helping people though, right?
Sure. Yeah. Oh,
Yeah, you really, really do. Could you create a ask Ruth a minute question, right? Can you create a time block where you could put all of those? Now, listen, I understand that the real estate world is an ever flowing type world where it's like, gosh, I got to wait a whole week to talk to Ruth. But could we teach, if it's the same group of people or if it's the same type of person that comes to you, could we put them somewhere where it is a more organized, contained energy space that if it does suck your energy, it's only for a period of time during a week, not oh my gosh, throughout the entire week?
yeah. So,
And or what if, this is another one, what if like the old school FAQs, but what if you started to maybe create some long form video content and put on YouTube of the most frequently asked questions this week?
yeah.
And then you did that and you put that on your YouTube and now it becomes an evergreen type product where people can see that you're solving problems and you could list out what the problems were and let that be part of your value add to your database.
Yeah, that's smart. The FAQ thing, I literally just coached a TL on that yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
Don't ask me why. Sometimes I just don't I don't think of it for me. I'll tell someone else all day long, but like sometimes it's like, yeah.
Yep, that's good.
Cool.
Yeah,
Thanks.
I'm obsessed with long form video content right now because every one of you on this call has value to give another human being. And if it is a consistent conversation that you're having, whether it's a team member, whether it's a market center member, whether it's a coaching client, whatever it is, go put that in a video. Doesn't matter what you sound like, doesn't matter what you look like. That's what you look like, that's what you sound like. Go put that on YouTube. Let that be a value add. If you want to put some CTAs in there, do it. If you want to attract them into your world, do it. And then let that be long form content that now is what we call evergreen because it never goes away. People love that. By the way, I want to challenge somebody here. I'm going to challenge the whole group. What can I offer? What can I offer? I'll offer like a 30-minute one-on-one session here. Type in the chat how many YouTube videos are uploaded a week. No, I apologize. A day. How many YouTube videos are uploaded a day? The closest one to this, I'll offer my time. How many per day are uploaded? We got 1 million, we got 1 million, we got 5 million.
I feel like Jenny's on The Price is Right. 1,000,001.
Jenny, no Googling, everybody. No chat GPT and no cheating. I can't see some of y'all's eyes. 10 million, Carrie.
I'm not gonna guess because I get more unsolicited coaching time with you than I even beg or pardon for. So we'll let someone else go.
7 million. Has everybody put in there?
Last call.
Here we go. All right, excellent. Carrie, you are the winner. It's 9.75 million a day.
Wow.
Day. 9.75 million videos on YouTube are uploaded a day. Can you believe that? That's incredible. So deviating away from what we're talking about, I don't believe we're in an information age anymore. I think we're in an implementation age. Right? There's so much valuable content out there that it's just up to us to now go implement. Yep. Wow, I just thought about worldwide. Should be a lot. It is a lot. 9.75 million videos a day is a lot. Excellent. Cool. Okay. Anything else? Anything else? This has been a lot of fun. Carrie, shoot me a text.
Great
And
job.
Thank
Thanks
you.
for doing it.
That's really my pleasure. And Carrie, we'll find some time. I'm going to go record some
Yes,
FAQs.
Ruth, I love it.
Let's do it. Let's do it. Excellent. If there's anything I could ever do for you guys, just go follow me on Instagram, Adam R. Roach, and shoot me a DM. Happy to help any way, shape, or form that I can and will. Thanks, guys, for having me. Take care. See you. Bye.